What is up, YouTube? Welcome to another call on Tyrone. We are here for the early morning Georgia versus Georgia Tech rivalry game. How's everybody doing this morning? What's going on? But yeah, we are here to talk about this game. Um, Hopefully we get Kstylez in here pretty soon. We get to talk about the rivalry. But the thing about this is that we all know Georgia should win this game by at least 30. If Georgia doesn't win this game by 30, I think we're gonna have a problem. Um, but I don't doubt that Georgia Tech will come out here and they'll have a great game. I think Georgia Tech will try to fight it. I think they'll try to fight. At least have some pride. Um, because I think they got to show you something. I mean, you this is the biggest game because if you lose this game, you might as well just say you know your little brother. Like you've been little brother for a while, but like I told this to K Style. I said, bro, at this point you're like the fourth best team in Georgia. I mean, they're treating Georgia Tech like a D2 school tomorrow. They treat them like an SDS school because we have Georgia at a 98.2% chance of winning this game tomorrow. I mean today. So I mean, do you really have a chance? And when everybody, I mean, you don't have a chance of upsetting Georgia at this point in the year because Georgia is too dominant, and you are 3-8. But at the same time, you could just, and for them, they just have to show pride. I think they just have to play tough because I can't see them not doing that. I mean, it's been this rivalry is deep, so I mean, it's just funny. It's gonna be a funny. I think the game itself is going to be. I hope we don't have any fights, but I would not doubt we do because I just realized that man, this game is gonna be wild. Like I mean, it's going to be a hard fought rivalry game. It's always been a hard fought rivalry game. We're always gonna have somebody somehow get in a fight. Somebody somehow is gonna do something to get to not even get hurt, but just to do something dumb. Like it's going to be a fight. What's up, Wallace? How you doing this morning? Um, like I was saying, I just see this being a ugly, nasty game. Because I just Georgia, like we said, Georgia Tech has nothing to lose. If I'm Georgia Tech, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to do everything I have to do to try to get in and win. We got Mike on the show. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, man. How you doing, bro?
Doing good, doing good. Early morning show, getting up, trying to get this stuff ready. But I was talking about how this game's gonna be ugly. I said it's gonna be some fights. It's gonna be something. It's gonna get you riled up. I think that's why Georgia Tech doesn't have nothing to lose, so I can see them just being just starting stuff with Georgia players because there's nothing you can't really stop it. Like I mean, they gonna have to play dirty. Think they're gonna have to win. And they can't make a mistake. So what's your opinion on that?
As far as Georgia Tech, um, I'm going to be honest. There's only one way they can win. It's not passing, and obviously they have to make um, can't make a ton of mistakes, but they have to run the ball well. They don't run the ball well, which is um, pretty much uh, like the old saying goes, "There's no chance in hell." That they'll be able to run the game, run the ball, especially with big number 99 in the middle of the field. So that's the only chance that they have. And like I said, I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just everybody knows that he's arguably the best defensive tackle in the game, and maybe probably the best run stuff in defensive tackle Georgia has ever had in the history of Georgia. And that's no slight to guys like Richard Seymour and whatnot, but this Jordan Davis is just he's just special. So it's like that's the only way Georgia Tech has to win. They will have to run the ball well and play mistake free football. They just don't have enough receivers. They damn sure don't have quarterbacks. So it's like at this moment, look, man, um, playing dirty. Like if you play dirty, that's not a good idea because that's pretty much what Georgia likes to do. They're dirty, they're disgusting, they're a nasty team. I mean, they got a short midget at quarterback, so that should tell you everything that you need to know about that team.
Yeah, I mean they're going I mean this is a really it's funny because the spread is 35, right? Like we have a 35-point favorite, and the total is 54. Georgia can score 54 in this one game. Really, and truly. We can score 35 in the first quarter. Let's be honest. Like we in the first half we really could have close to 40 points. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just not even being mean. That's not even like it's not no disrespect. But this team is just electric, and they just don't have like their safeties are cool. Okay, yeah, the safeties can do what they have to do, and they can do what they have to say what they have to say. But their corners can't keep up with these guys. I mean,
Right.
that's just being honest. Like their corners can't. Their safeties they can stay. They're gonna have to try to guard Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington, Lad McCoskey. I mean, like just think about that whole tight end room is all bad. And you got to think you can't put a linebacker on. You're gonna have to put the safety on him. Then you got to
Mm-hmm.
hope he don't jump over. So that's the worst part. That's the best part about Georgia's thing is just like we can just yeah, I don't think they can score. I don't think they can score versus us. 'Cause, I mean Notre Dame's defense has gotten a lot better throughout the season. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean they're still Georgia. If Georgia Tech couldn't score last week, last time they scored a touchdown was versus Virginia Tech, and we are years and light years away from Virginia Tech. So I mean that's the worst part about for them is like you better hoping. And you knew it was gonna be a tough stretch going to Notre Dame and going. You get a home game, but then you got to play a number one team.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's the worst. That's the worst part about that for them. But for Georgia, you have to play discipline at this point. This is a game you got to be disciplined. You gotta hold. Not get emotional, not get into your feelings during this game. Because if you do, we cannot have any like we can't have a George Pickens incident. Because mind you, that'll get in you. If you do it, if only do it in the first half, because you will get suspended. You get suspended for a half, and that's fine. I'm okay with you doing that, but do not do this in the second half when we got to worry about you missing the first half of the SEC championship. Because
Look,
that's not what we need.
that's not. But like if you be honest, man, I'm just gonna be real. And I'm sure you're gonna get to this, so I'm probably a little bit ahead. But they have to get off to a fast start. Georgia have to get off to a fast start, so they don't even put themselves in the position where they have to, start fighting and take risks that they shouldn't take because this is a rivalry. So with that, what am I saying with that? This pretty much means that like they got to prepare themselves for the next game. I know that goes against every coach, every real football fan. They got to prepare themselves for the next game. They can't come around here playing around with Georgia Tech. And with that statement in itself, that pretty much means that Stetson he needs to ride the bench. All right, I'm just gonna be real. I don't trust anything about Stetson. I don't trust him with a team like Alabama. It's I'm just gonna say it. It's just stupid to have him starting against Alabama and him receiving the um, most of the snaps. That he would have to. Now I'm not against him coming in doing certain things, running the ball or whatnot. It's like even that scares me because he's so little playing against, you know, Alabama. Alabama is not Georgia Tech. Alabama is not Kentucky. Alabama is not. I mean, no disrespect to Clemson, but they're no Clemson. These guys are these Georgia and Alabama have the biggest of the biggest players. So you're not gonna come in there thinking Stetson Bennett is gonna run all over them. Like you absolutely losing your damn mind if you think Stetson Bennett gonna come and run all over Alabama. Can he do it? Quite possibly. It's not impossible. but the odds are strongly against him. So they will have to get, in my opinion, get prepared for the next game, get prepared for the playoffs by giving JT Daniels a lot of snaps in this game. He has to come out. You got to get him ready for this playoff. You got to get him some type of, chemistry with the receiving core, with the offense, because he hasn't played a lot.
You know, yeah. And you, like you said, you can't really and truly expect. You can't. I just think you can't expect. I can see them doing it, but I just can't expect them to have them playing a lot of snaps versus Alabama because that's gonna make you that team. Alabama is gonna be looking at the count. They see Georgia
Mm-hmm.
playing out there. It's quarterback. Like you haven't seen enough. We haven't seen enough. I think I don't know why JT Daniels. Because you're going to be here unless he gets injured playing bad. That's why I don't want to get to that point of him playing bad and we losing the game. We got to try to come back. That's what I don't want versus Alabama. I don't want to play the behind game with Alabama because when you get behind with Alabama, they don't stop scoring. They're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna stop scoring. They don't care
Mm-hmm.
about you being behind. You got to switch quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole thing is we gonna win this game. If we gotta blow you out, we gonna have to blow you out.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather we get JT ready early in the game than having to worry about him having to come off the bench and get his stuff because this is gonna be next week is gonna be crazy. I mean, you don't want to look into next week, but because you don't want to overlook the opponent this week, but next week is going to be a game where you're gonna have to put your all in. Like you're gonna have to put your all in that game because that game you
Mm-hmm.
gotta win that game. You gotta be.
Yeah.
It's a monkey on your back. You gotta put on. Like you gotta shake that monkey off your back. Really and truly, 'cause, like this us the whole Alabama scenario. Every time we play Alabama these past couple years, it's always has been something crazy to happen. So we got to get that monkey off of back. We got to beat them. We have to. We got for Kirby. Kirby has to really because this is the thing with Kirby. Kirby is still yet to be his former head coach, and he has a talent he's here to do. He's had the talent for really 2 years, 2 or 3 years that we played him. He's had the talent. It's always has been a something that happens. Like, and then y'all Alabama's gonna get called. Like I would, all I say is if you're a Georgia fan, just you know what Alabama's loaded with everything about it. So just don't let that happen. Um, yeah, like you just can't let that. You can't let that happen. It's just gonna have to be. It's gonna be like you say. Okay, Wallace, this is his second year. I mean, it's JT Daniels' second year too. And we had the whole. You remember, I did the media day coverage, and their whole thing was JT Daniels and Todd, and in the G Day game coverage. The whole thing was JT Daniels and Todd Monken are on the same wavelength, and they know and that they
And
knew Spencer Bennett was really and truly Spencer Bennett wasn't the backup quarterback. He got jumped up because Carson Beck was the backup quarterback. They all said that. They were like, yeah, Carson Beck is the backup. And then we get to the game and Simpson is started. So, I mean, it's stuff like that. We have to look at because I would love to think that Simpson, you love to have a senior as your backup. I mean, every school would love to have a senior as their backup quarterback. But the thing is, we get into a game now where if Simpson doesn't really put up, he doesn't put up the numbers, and not even the numbers. If we go into if we end the first half versus Alabama, and it's 13-10, I don't want him. I need him to get JT Daniels ready because that game is gonna get real, real. I don't know if he's gonna get out really and truly. Simpson hasn't played in a close game this whole year.
this has really been irritating me just to see this. And I keep saying this, and I just think it's the dumbest shit ever. I'm just gonna be honest. It's really the dumbest. It's like Stetson Bennett knows the offense better. Like we gotta stop saying that because it's not true. Okay, they're two different offenses. There's two different offenses when you have Stetson Bennett versus JT Daniels. So he doesn't know the offense better. All right, they're just running the plays that he's good at versus the plays with JT. It's completely different offenses. So this is Kirby choosing what style of offense he wants to run. That's the truth of the matter. All right, because when you look at them play, they're not doing the same thing. It's a more vertical. It's a more of a vertical run game, vertical passing game with JT Daniels in versus Stetson. All right, Stetson runs a lot of read options, a lot of a lot of short passes, a lot of rollouts to get the ball out of his hands and get him away from the pocket because he's short, he can't see over the line. And then you got JT Daniels, who's just a traditional drop back passer. So it's two different offenses. So when I see fans, and I don't know where this came from, I don't know if this originated, but Stetson Bennett knows the offense better. This is not true whatsoever. They're running two different styles of offenses, and Kirby just decided which offense goes best with the team. All right. And right now, the running game, they can't rely on the running game consistently because for whatever reason, those guys just haven't clicked with the offensive line and the running back. So that's the reason why he chose Stetson. I get it, but this shit is not going to work against Alabama. It's just not. You're not going to be able to beat Alabama with solely a Stetson Bennett at quarterback. Kirby is really kidding himself, and he think that he's just going to win this game with Stetson Bennett. Now, I know that he's totally um, relying on his defense to pretty much carry. They can, but again, this is Alabama who we're talking about. He has arguably the greatest college coach of all time in Nick Saban. So he's going to have some tricks up his sleeve. You're not going to see the same stuff. You might, but for the most part, he's going to have a wrinkle somewhere somehow. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reason why I say you have to have both of these guys ready. You got to have JT Daniels receiving most of the snaps in this game because, again, like these guys is not, they're not it. Stetson's just not it. Going against a guy like Nick Saban in Alabama. Just ain't that. This man up here can't.
Uh, man, I got baby girl. What is going on, y'all? What is happening? Yeah, baby girl.
What's
She
going on with
playing
it?
stuff in the back.
How you feel this fine morning? You got about 20 minutes. No, it's about 12, yeah, 12 minutes to kick off. How you feeling this morning?
Go ahead, can you go ahead and repeat that again.
I said, how you feeling this morning? Got about 12 minutes. Well, yeah, I guess it's 12 minutes. It's probably gonna be a little bit late, but 12 minutes to kick off.
I'm very, I'm very confident. I mean, I'm the only one in the world that's confident right now about my team. But hey, yeah, like I said, this is gonna be a very intriguing game. I'm gonna say that right now.
Like I said, my whole thing, like I said about doing the is that you guys can play up to y'all competition. Um,
Hmm.
and y'all play down. The other thing, like last week, is just like that game last week is just it's just fresh in everybody's mind. So that's why nobody think. That's really why nobody gives y'all a chance. If y'all would have had, I think if y'all would have had a better game versus Notre Dame, it might have been different. But y'all have it's just like y'all have no shot. And like I said, they're treating you guys like a D2 school. Like you saw me last night, we getting treated like a D2 school. At this point, they're not even giving us big bets on the game because they know it's gonna be a blowout. That's how bad it is. Like they giving you one or two bets and that's it. So I mean, for you, why? I don't think I asked you this question. Why are you so confident in this Georgia Tech team?
I mean, why not? I'm gonna tell you. Hey, I gotta show these people that somebody ain't scared. Yeah, I'll be the only one to say I ain't scared of Georgia. And then, like you said, they play up to the competition. They know what's at stake. Um, like you said, ain't nobody. Like you said, ain't nobody giving Tech a shot. Even the Georgia Tech fans ain't giving themselves a shot. Hey, at the end of the day, it's us against the world. What we gonna do with it?
Yeah. So at
You
this
just said
point,
a whole bunch of nothing for no reason whatsoever. You know you ain't got a shot in hell at winning.
Hey, hey, hey! Look, I about to say, just like JT had the TJ had the numbers last night. We have a 1.8% chance. That's a puncher's chance, and that kind of attitude that you got right there, Mike, is exactly why I go for Tech in this game.
it's a 1.8. So it's a 1.8% chance. It's like, I think it's like I don't know if there's a bet on y'all scoring, but I know they said the over under for the first half is 30 points. So I guess
Kind of
they
low,
expect
TJ. Can't hear.
points. With a 54-point spread versus Georgia, that's a close game, especially for a bad team. That's a really close spread. And I mean that's a low score. I mean if we're playing a bad team, 54 is what we scored last week. We scored close to 54 last week. So I mean that means we playing a tougher game this week because I don't think the spread was that bad last week. So
Right,
you guys get to I think we get a closer game. I mean I don't want a blowout of a game. I would want a close game because it's just the rivalry. I would want the rivalry to be it still have some weight, but you don't want to be like, oh well, yeah, we scored 56 last week. Now there's Charleston Southern, so a 54-point spread is not. I mean, that's not bad, and that means they expecting y'all to score too. So I mean, that's like I mean, as long as you score a touchdown, you're better than Vanderbilt and Clemson and Arkansas. So you might as well if you score a touchdown, you got and Florida and Missouri. So I mean, you score a touchdown, you got a fair chance of saying you scored a touchdown on Georgia's defense. So that's how I see it. You got to at least score a little bit. But you guys didn't even your offseason. Well, you guys got a bowl coming up, but you guys don't have a bowl coming up. So what is you guys' offseason plan? For Georgia Tech, what do you think the offseason plan is going to be?
it's just trying to continue to actually get good players here. I mean, that's really what's been the biggest difference between Georgia and Georgia Tech. Georgia usually get all the good players, and we usually get the scraps from the nation. I mean, that's kind of what Jeff Collins' role has been here is trying to slowly transition into bringing better players here. Because let's be honest, that's really what college football is about. It's not so much of the X's and O's play a part in it, but it's all about can you bring the best talent to your school or can you bring good talent to your school? And like I said, and that's where Georgia Tech has been failing for the last 13 years. Because remember, we came from a system under Paul Johnson where good players didn't want to play there because they knew they weren't going to get no shine. And that's where the transition is coming.
I
Now,
mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. I gotta get your opinion on this. Look, I'm not trying to say most of the world is stupid, but most of the world ain't making close to a damn a 4.0. Let's just be real, all right? And quite frankly, I think this is where Georgia Tech is just they just refuse. It's money over it's more so programs. They want to keep their accreditation, and I understand it as far as the school is concerned, and being one of the top schools as far as academics is concerned. But this is where it 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 put
what's up?
Georgia behind the eight ball because you got these guys like you really have these guys some of the top athletes, some of these top athletes, bro, like, come on. Ain't nobody making no damn 4.0 or 3.8. And then you putting yourself in a small pool of athletes that you can actually recruit. So, like for me, I don't think Georgia Tech will ever be able to get over the 8 ball as far as recruiting is concerned, because you guys, and again, it goes just to the school itself, not the program, but the school itself. They don't care about academics. They just keep it real. They don't care about academics. They don't care about um, sports. They only care about academics. So until that change, until they want to put more into sport, Georgia Tech is going to always be, the bottom tier of the ACC and bottom tier of top schools because of just that alone.
Yeah, the board for them just can't. I think you as a fan base, you gotta go in there and be like, hey, come up with some programs that's gonna get us some some actual help to get players. Because this program, what you guys have now, I mean, everything is like auto engineer, like not even auto engineer, like uh, rocket science for some of these kids that are coming out like five, like some most. I'm not gonna say most 5 stars, but some 5 stars are not that. They're not that good in school. Like they got a good GP. They got at least a GPA that's gonna get you into most colleges. But Georgia Tech is one, like I said, like that's just a high. That's a high school. That's an academic school. So I mean, you're not gonna have a good, a good recruiting class because you got to think you got to go and find the guys with 4.0 GPAs and higher to get to your school. I mean, to come to your school. So I mean, that's the worst part about that. But we're gonna go ahead and and try to end it off here. I'll look at your ending thoughts, Kstylez, and then we'll do Mike, and then I'll finish it off.
Uh, yeah, 'cause I was gonna say my end thoughts probably gonna kind of go into what y'all said just for a little bit as far as the athletics. But it seems like the only issue with the athletics at Georgia Tech is it's just football. I mean, if you look at all the other sports at Tech, when it comes to basketball and baseball, they always usually get great players coming in. See, the real issue is not so much of the academics. You have to look at the publicity side behind it. Remember, Georgia got the AJC behind it. So when you got that publicity, um, that's more eyes put on Georgia. So when you got the AJC, when you got
They
the
can, they can get
local
they
media,
can get they can get those K styles. That's the program. That's what I mean. It's like,
that
yeah, that's
that
true. You're absolutely 100% right. But like that
right,
goes back to the school. You got to put forth the effort. They don't even put forth the effort to like even put. It's like the Atlanta Dream. Like you in Atlanta, I see they post. They post me having like 200 likes.
Yep.
Like bro, I can get that in one Facebook post. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not even trying. Like, and that's why I say it's more so the school itself. Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to call people stupid. That's far from what I'm saying. But academic does play a huge part in what Georgia Tech. Now, if there is a way that I don't know where they can kind of separate academics from sports, then you know that's probably the case. But for what I'm saying, Georgia Tech is not even trying to put themselves out there. It's like the Atlanta Dream. They do a lot of complaining and a lot of complaining, but are you really trying? That's what I want to know.
I wouldn't say they wouldn't be trying. I mean, you already gonna be behind the 8 ball regardless. So you can only work with what you got. To be honest, even if you try hard. That's why I'm saying at the end of the day, no matter how hard Georgia Tech tries, when you look at the state of Georgia, you look at all the publicity that goes not just Georgia Tech, but all the schools here in Georgia. That's why they say when you look at the state of Georgia, it's not the number one team in Georgia is the Bulldogs. That's going with all professional teams too. That's why I said once you got that publicity behind you, it's easier for those 4 and 5 star recruits to actually look at that program like, oh, okay, all eyes on them. You see what I'm saying?
That's hard. And that's hard for Georgia Tech because, like you said,
Because
Georgia's been
Yeah,
so
but
good.
my bad. I didn't want to interrupt. I just want to say because like if that's the case, why 4 or 5 star guys going to Stanford? Stanford has a way more stricter criteria as far as players and stuff than what Georgia Tech has. So
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that, and that's why I say it's more so on the program itself. Like again, yeah, I think you have a point as far as the variety of schools. Like we have a ton of schools just in the state of Georgia and near Atlanta that a lot of people can choose from. So that does play a part also. But again, it's like my thing is, man, Georgia Tech, they should be running away with them winning the national championship. Like you don't even hear them even promote their own championship. You see Georgia play those same clips of 1980 every time, every chance they get. Man, we don't even hear nothing about Georgia Tech championship. And like that's the stuff that I'm talking about for Tech. Like that's poor. That's terrible marketing.
but bro, if there's only 9 Georgia Tech fans in the state of Georgia, who the hell gonna watch it?
You ain't. That's what I mean. You got to do a. You got to do a better job. Georgia Tech does a horrible job of promoting Georgia Tech, and that's just my like I said. You should never not flaunt your national championship, and I never see Georgia Tech flaunt it.
I didn't
And
even know Georgia Tech had
every time I watch, I don't see a commercial about them winning natty. I don't see nothing. It's just Georgia Tech. Come to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. That's all I hear.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, all of it comes into fruition. Like I said, Georgia Tech is doesn't promote athletics because it's all about the other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that kind of lets you know what type of 8 ball we are behind as far as the football program. But that's why I said you don't never really catch those type of problems when it comes to baseball, basketball, and all those other athletics that they got there. But it's only football because this is a football state. That's where you see
Mm-hmm.
all the problems at. So that's where, like I said, that's where they fall behind 8 ball.
Y'all have a worse
What
pool than
can
Kstylez. You not lying about that. Y'all have a worse pool because, like Mike said about the Dream, like the Dream barely get any interaction on Twitter. They barely get any interaction on any because you don't hear they don't promote themselves a lot. Like Renee is trying to change that slowly but surely, but you're not getting a lot of that. That information about the Dream has been to the championship game 3 years in a row. They went 3 times in a row, and then they just fell off the face of the earth. And nobody's really heard nothing from them or heard about. Like people don't really follow WNBA in the first place, but there's a lot of other teams that get a lot of clout from it because I mean still a big sport. You're in Atlanta, you should still have that as one of your biggest sports. So I mean that's the only thing about it. I mean Georgia Tech is behind the 8 ball in a lot, and that's not even just like you said, not just marketing. It's moving. It's all of that stuff putting it all around. And it's just like because even if me coming out of high school, Georgia Tech isn't even your first option. Like even when they talk to your recruiters, like they recruiters talking to like your counselors at your school, even like you want to go to Georgia Tech, you got to have this, and it's so like the requirements. You're like, oh, I can just go to Georgia for literally just to get a nice score on my SAT and my ACT and having a good like an above average GPA. I get in Georgia. I don't have Georgia Tech. You got to have all these tests, all of this, all of that, and that kind of sort of can shy people away. And like you said, baseball and basketball is different because you can get a lot of those players. And I mean, most of those guys, they don't. I don't know. I think they're just different. It's just like a different thing. And then they have more clout, basketball and baseball wise, in Georgia Tech because your baseball team and your basketball team is better than Georgia's baseball and basketball team. So I mean, whatever sport you're good at, you're gonna get there. So it's gonna have to take. It's gonna take you guys having good seasons in a row, like multiple good seasons in a row, for
Right,
teams to really start considering Georgia Tech.
right. So basically, at the end of the day, it's just gonna have to come down to the football team. Just gonna have to, like you said, they're gonna have to have consistent seasons of them winning and getting bowl games to okay.
Yeah, that's the only way you gonna get in there. That's the only way you gonna start getting
Right.
full coverage. You gotta win a couple bowl games and start. You guys haven't been to a bowl game in what 3, 4 years. So
Right.
I mean, you're not getting the coverage that you would like. Georgia Southern's getting more coverage than you guys because at least they're going to bowl games. Like all of these teams in Georgia are going to bowl games. Like I
Yeah.
think Georgia State's going to a bowl game. So I mean, like yo, that's the thing. Like you gotta get these guys can go. Cause some of these guys they go to all these smaller schools and come to you guys, but they just don't feel like Georgia Tech's the spot to go. So I mean, that's the only thing. And you can have the best amenities and this and that, like being in Atlanta and all of that. But when it comes down to it, it's just like, do I really want to go to Georgia Tech? That's the worst part about it. But we gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and end it off here. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Kstylez. Thank you guys for coming on. If you guys want to speak, guys, real quick, you guys yourself out. Promote yourself.
Hey, hey, like you said, appreciate it. I know I came in a little bit late, but definitely appreciate you letting me get on. Like you said, 6 man K Styles, Atlanta Falcon Nation, also FILA Sports. Yeah, make sure y'all support all those. Like I said, we try to do big things around here, so hey, we need y'all. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
You got one, Mike?
Yep. Sit Stetson Bennett ass down. That's all I got to say about that. Don't let that motherfucker play. And excuse
Yeah.
my language. I'm sick and tired of seeing him. I'm just sick and tired. I love my dog. I don't know what the hell
The
he's
El-
doing. I have
the
no
Elroy Jetson getting on his
idea.
nerves.
Elroy Jetson playing quarterback. I'm sick of it. And again, it's not that I'm picking on Stetson. I'm sick of Kirby. Kirby just like I don't know. I don't know if this dude just like he don't know what the quarterback position is. I don't know if he's just ignorant. I don't know if he don't care. Like he just makes some of the most questionable decisions regarding his quarterbacks. And I've always had the issue for years. He is just a moron when it comes down to the quarterback position. He always fails, and he kills a lot of players' careers. But I'm just gonna tell you straight up, he killed Fromm's career, he killed Easton's career, and he killed Justin Fields' career. It's all Kirby. Kirby is just a moron, and I would never trust anybody, especially my kid going to Georgia. I would not, and I'm the biggest Georgia fan. I will never trust a quarterback going to Georgia. So the only way you get a guy, get a 5-star to come, is that he would have to have a supporting cast like Eli Manning, but the Mannings, Arch Manning, like he would have to have that type of support cast. Ain't no way in hell I'm bringing the quarterback to Georgia, and that's just be real. Like I said, I'm the biggest fan, but he kills quarterbacks' careers, and I know a lot of Georgia fans can't wait to probably put my head on a pedestal right now, but I don't give a damn. Kirby is a fucking quarterback killer. He's the real quarterback killer, and that's just the truth.
Kirby's had a couple. He's had a lot of questionable calls these last couple of years, especially quarterback wise. Everybody knows Kirby quarter. I mean, Jake Fromm choosing Jake Fromm, was. I mean, you went with the incumbent pick. You didn't. I feel like he didn't even really try to use Justin Fields. I think he was just like Jake Fromm just took me to the national championship. I'm gonna keep Jake Fromm there. So I mean, it's certain stuff you look at that and be like, you can't do that, Kirby. You gotta try to
Mhm.
move your pieces around every year. And this year, I mean, defensively, Kirby's gonna have a great defense. I think you
Mhm.
just automatically Kirby's gonna have a great defense every year. But offensively, you just got. I think he has to
You
really
just
trust
want them to do a bare
I don't
minimum,
think
and I
he's
I
trusting his
fucking hate I despise that bullshit coming from a coach. You should never want your quarterback to do the bare minimum because you just want to be safe.
yeah.
Like that, I like I said, I don't like Kirby at all offensively. I think he's a complete moron. All right, I'm just gonna be honest. He's a complete moron, and he needs other people to come in to run his offense because he don't know shit about offense. And like I said, I love him to death. I love my dogs, but I can't stand Kirby offensively. He's a complete idiot.
Yeah, that's why I said Kirby has to trust. He has to trust his OC at one certain point in time. He's
Mm.
gonna have to trust his OC. That's just how it's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to trust him. So, but like I said, that's gonna be it for the show. I think the game's about to actually it might have kicked off.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to Matt Mike Sports, Matt Mike's Network on YouTube. It's I'll put it in the description or I'll put it
Mm-hmm.
in the comments. Subscribe over there because we're doing a lot of content on both channels. Subscribe to FIBA Sports, leave a like, subscribe, comment on this video. And thank you guys for coming on again. Peace.
Yes, sir.